All you bitches best to know my name. Nobody you hoes, I'm coming from South Park. Catch you after dark, I'ma spit your fucking gender part. Follow you.
You still believe in that Build Back Better bullshit? Joe Rahim Biden signed an executive order to stop all construction on the border wall. Not only did he stop construction, he left like a 20-foot gap between the two border walls. Basically, he was like, nah, nigga, don't finish that shit. Leave it exactly how it was. I'm not sure if people really understand how important that border wall is. All I hear is, but they got different technology to stop the border crossings. What's that? Well, they got drones. Drones? What the fuck they gonna do? Blow the motherfuckers up crossing the border? You need a barrier. My question is, where was all this energy when Barack Obama wanted a border wall and border security? When Joe Biden voted for 700 miles of border fence? Oh, you don't believe me? Don't take my word for it.
The system's still broken. And to truly deal with this issue, Congress needs to act. And that moment is now. This week, the Senate will consider a common sense, bipartisan bill that is the best chance we've had in years to fix our broken immigration system. It will build on what we've done and continue to strengthen our borders. It will make sure that businesses and workers are all playing by the same set of rules. And it includes tough penalties for those who don't. It's fair for middle-class families by making sure that those who are brought into the system pay their fair share in taxes and for services. And it's fair for those who try to immigrate legally by stopping those who try to skip the line. It's the right thing to do.
I voted for a fence. I voted for 700-mile fence.
Now, my question is, what changed? Because the situation didn't. I'm going to tell you exactly what changed. Politics changed. They don't care about you. They're only glomming on to what's popular at the time, the popular opinions at the time. Understand, folks, America's being mortgaged out to the highest bidder. And soon, the land you call home will be nothing but a dystopian prison that you only see in movies. You still believe it?
Hotep, especially when the Hotep got the goddess mask off. He's working his ass off, trying to tell y'all goofy dudes what they planning. It's Hotep, Hotep. Hope you motherfuckers understand. It's Hotep.
What's going on, everybody? Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Welcome to a special edition of Cannon Speaks. Give yourselves a round of applause because you could be anywhere right now, but you're hanging out with me, and I really do appreciate it. If you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon, and let you know when I got new content coming out. Please share the stream, guys. Let people know we live. You catching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. I can use that constructive criticism, guys. You want to donate to the channel? $ Cannon Hotep on Cash App, Super Chats, Rumble Rants, always welcome. Or become a member of one of the channels. You know, become a member on YouTube. Hit the join button. Hit the join button over on Rumble, just under the chat. And on Kick, become a subscriber. On any of them platforms for just a cup of coffee a month, you can, help support this channel, because this channel is brought to you by viewers like you. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate you guys, man. So, I decided to stream and make sure I stream this because yesterday I made a point about Kamala Harris's a point and a prediction about Kamala Harris's platform that she's going to run on. You know, her I guess her theme for her candidacy or whatever. And I said she was going to take anything that Donnie T may have put in that had success. She was going to run on that. I have another example of that today. It looks like today she went to North Carolina, Raleigh, North Carolina. So it looked like maybe what looks like maybe a crowd of maybe I don't know, 100 people maybe. She's talking about her economy, and what she's deemed it is quote unquote opportunity economy. The opportunity economy. Including the camera crew. What's up, Jay? Jay Pylon in the building. We got Montoya in the building. Hope all is well. So, but first, make sure y'all tune in tonight, 9 p.m. on Kick. Tonight, 9 p.m. on Kick. It's going to be Royce White versus Mark Lamont Hill. I'm sure it's going to be some fireworks tonight. Some good clean grifting going on tonight. Good clean grifting going on tonight, guys. Make sure you don't miss a beat of it. Also, if you're planning on going to HotepCon, HotepCon is October 3rd through the 6th in Miami. That's October 3rd through the 6th in Miami, guys. So go to hotepnation.com. Let me show you guys real quick. Go to hotepnation.com, hit the HotepCon tab, and get your tickets, guys. HotepCon Miami 2024. Use the promo code CANNON. That's the promo code CANNON, CANNON, to get $200 off of your tickets, guys. It's going to be a fantastic time. It ain't going to be that fresh and fit bullshit that they try to pull on them people. It's going to be, you're going to be hanging out with real G's. And real G's moving silent like lasagna. I think that's how. And now I go. Real G's moving silence like lasagna. Oh man, come hang out with us, man. Get your tickets. Use Cannon, CANNON, to get $200 off your tickets. I don't know why I feel like something burning in my nose now. Oh my gosh. I'll be okay. Some dust or something. Anyway, so like I said, today Kamala Harris was in Raleigh, North Carolina, speaking to a handful of people about her new economic policy. Which, surprise, looks like it's verbatim. More plagiarism. She is copying Donnie T style. Donnie T need to come out to Craig Mack. You're jocking my style. That's what Donnie T need to come out to his next debate, or the next debate or his next rally. He need to come out to the you're jocking my style. He need to come out to Craig Mack. You jocking my style. That's what you need to come out to. No problem, Retro. Anyway, let's get to it. Let's get to it. I don't want to keep doing all this nonsense. So let's get to it. Hold on.
We know that many Americans don't yet feel that progress in many ways, including when it comes to how we think about the economy.
Okay, here we go.
Representatives Adam, Manning, Chair Thomas, this election,
Here we go.
I do strongly believe, is about two very different visions for our nation. One, ours, focused on the future, and the other, focused on the past. We see that contrast clearly in many ways, including when it comes to how we think about the economy. So our country has come a long way since President Biden and I took office. At that time, we sadly remember the millions of Americans that were out of work.
We sadly remember the millions of Americans that are out of work, that were out of work. I wonder why they were out of work. Anybody tell me in the chat why they were out of work? Why millions of Americans were out of work? Can somebody in the chat explain to me why millions of Americans were out of work? Anybody? 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 They'll say every time Mark says Uncle Hotep, we gotta take a shot. Roscoe said commies. Or Rasco said commies. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say the reason why a lot of Americans were out of jobs because Kamala Harris and Joe Biden put them out of work. Put them out of work. A lot of people were forced out of work because of the COVID base, the pandemic. A lot of people were forced to either work from home or quit their jobs. Right? 2 weeks to slow the spread turned into like 2 years. Fast forward, Nicholas Slick and Kamala Harris. Started forcing people to get the vaccine or else. If you didn't get the Yameen or else, they were forcing companies to mandate the vaccine or fire their employees. So see that unemployment number was astroturfed by Kamala Harris and Joe Biden by the fuckery they did to force people to take an experimental drug. Is Kamala black or Indian? I don't know, that bitch lizard to me.
We were facing one of the worst economic crises in modern history. And today, by virtually every measure, our economy is the strongest in the world.
Somebody got to explain how that works. How is our economy the strongest in the world when our dollar, right, was the reserve currency? It's no longer the reserve currency. How are we the strongest economy in the world? Right? When we got like, we damn near approaching hyperinflation. How are we the strongest economy in the world when people can't afford simple staples like milk and eggs? Somebody got to explain that to me. And I'm trying to figure out why these people in the background and these people there in North Carolina who should know better are clapping for that shit. I'm going to let her keep going.
We have created 16 million new jobs. We've made historic investments in...
The 16 million new jobs, the 16 million new jobs pissed me off because you didn't create 16 million new jobs. You backfilled 16 million new jobs. That's what you did. You don't have a job surplus. We're back at zero. Again, due to the carpet bombing that you did of our economy and our workforce. So to sit here and be responsible for people being out of work, being out of jobs, being fired, and then to take credit for putting 16 million people back to work is diabolical to me. It's asinine to me. But again, people eat this shit up because they don't know no better. That's the shit that pisses me off. Is that a clap track in the background? Because those people can't beat that damn. Yeah, I don't know. They could be that damn dense, Montoya.
Infrastructure, in chips manufacturing, in clean energy. And new numbers this week alone show that inflation is down under 3%.
Where? What metrics are they using to measure inflation? Because last I checked, interest on housing is still 6.5%. That's up from 2.87% pre-COVID and during COVID. Eggs cost $3 to $5 a dozen. I just showed you what a good New York strip cost yesterday. A good New York strip cost $17 for a New York strip. Even the shit people don't eat, like I said, the beef hearts that I was buying for $2 a heart is now $6. Cars, 20%, 30% increase on cars. A Ford F-150 that you probably could have got used for 45 grand is now like 60 grand. I need to know what metric they're using for inflation. Because right now it just sounds like she just spitting bullshit out of her mouth. She just making facts up. And these people again clapping. I swear they must have vetted everybody that walked into that building to make sure that they was purely and solely her supporters. That's the funniest shit in the world.
And as President of the United States, it will be my intention to build on the foundation of this progress. Still, we know.
So if this is real progress, right? If this is real progress, right? Why are you changing the name of your economic plan? Why don't you just still call it Bidenomics, that we're going to build on Bidenomics if it's so fucking fantastic? If shit is going really according to plan and all of this shit that you just said out your mouth is really happening, why don't you keep the name Bidenomics? Because according to you, everything's fucking rosy. Everything is 85 degrees on your planet all day, every day. But you're changing the name. It's not Bidenomics no more. Interesting. Because you were capping for Bidenomics a couple of months ago. It was the best thing in the world. It sounds like you capping for it now. What up, Art Dog?
That many Americans don't yet feel that progress in their daily lives. Costs are still too high. And on a deeper level, for too many.
So if the costs are still too high, how could you tout for inflation coming down? You got to make this make sense to me. Because the inflation is the direct correlation to what goods and services cost. I'll get to that in a minute.
Many people, no matter how much they work, it feels so hard to just be able to get ahead. As president, I will be laser focused on creating opportunities for the middle class that advance their economic security, stability, and dignity. Together, we will build what I call an opportunity economy. An opportunity economy. An economy where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Everyone, regardless of who they are or where.
You hear what she just said?
An economy where everyone can compete and have a real chance to succeed. Everyone, regardless of who they are or where they start, has an opportunity to build wealth for themselves and their children. And where we remove the barriers to opportunity, so anyone who wants to start a business or advance their career can access the tools and the resources that are necessary to do so.
Now, do you guys see why I said she's taking Donnie T's economy plan? Does it sound familiar? Do you remember opportunity zones? Do we remember Donald Trump lowering corporate taxes so that we could compete with the rest of the world? At the same time, bringing companies back to America. Remember that? Donnie T lowered the corporate tax to, I believe, was it 15%, 18%, something like that. They gave the incentive for companies to move back to America and to have their plants here in America and build American and hire American to increase the jobs and the economy of the United States. Not to mention all of the red tape that he removed for people to open businesses. All done under Donnie T. Donnie T did it first. But like I said on HJ channel, like I say on my channel, what they do, they came in, they laid waste to Donnie T's plans, right? Waited for shit to get bad, for people to start clamoring and saying shit is out of, we can't take it anymore. Can't take it anymore. And then they bring back the shit that Donnie T implemented that worked and that was successful. And then they rebrand it and they make it seem like they did it. I.e. opportunity economy and lower tough on the border, right? And the prescription drug, the lowering of prescription drugs costs. All done by Donnie T. Joe Nicholslick reversed all of that shit the day he got in office. And now now Kamala Harris is running on the same platform and ideas and implementations that Donnie T put in office when he was in office, put in place when he was in office. Next you're gonna give HBCUs the bag. Oh, goodness gracious. It sounds like a speech for a high schooler running for class president. That's exactly what it sounds like. I agree, James S. I agree, but that's what they do, right? That's what they do best. They hope that the voters are gonna give up the ass on promises, and then they ain't gonna return their phone calls the next day once they got the ass. That's what they do.
Focus on cutting needless bureaucracy and unnecessary regulatory red tape. And encouraging innovative technologies while protecting consumers. And creating a stable business environment with consistent and transparent rules of the road. As president, I will bring together labor with small businesses and major companies to invest in America, to create good jobs, achieve broad-based growth, and ensure that America continues to define the future and lead the world.
And these morons are clapping and clamoring for this shit and don't understand that the reason we had it so good from 2016 to 2020 is because all of the shit that she's talking about, Donald Trump implemented. The 91% of the lower middle class who got the benefit of the tax cuts. Even my cousin who don't like Trump had to tell the people that he was doing taxes for, like, yo, Trump did you a favor. You got a lot of your money back during the year in your paycheck. Bro, this is some underhanded shit, but this is what they do. The crazy part and the sad part is that the average person don't realize that. Oh, she said she about to do this. And that's the other thing. Elephant in the room and the obvious shit. You're the vice president of the United States of America. You're the vice president. You're the number 2. And you're talking about when I get in office, when I become president, I'm going to do this. Why isn't it being done now? I mean, I know the answer to it. But for the average person out here who may be listening, who don't understand politics and how the Democrats roll and how they move, why isn't it being done now? You're the vice president. It's not like you trying to get into Congress or you trying to get into the Senate or you some fly-by-night politician who out here just trying her hand at the presidency. You're a career politician. You were in the Senate for 8 years. The vice president, the second highest office in the land, for 4, and you've done fucking nothing. Nothing. When I get in office, we're going to be tough on the border. You were in charge of the border. You are in charge of the border. Whether they call you the border czar or not, which they have called you the border czar, because I've done videos on where they fucking took you to task on the border. Whether you're the border czar or not, you're the vice president of the United States. Something should have been done. And you sitting here giving these people, selling these people these pipe dreams that you could try to do something about now. That you could have been vocal and speaking out about now. But no, where you been at for 4 years? Don't nobody know. Nobody know where the fuck you been. You just collecting a check. Make no mistake, she got thrusted into this shit. Because nobody wanted her. Not even the powers that be wanted her. I think Joe Biden endorsed her as a FU for them fucking overthrowing him. This shit crazy.
And key to creating this opportunity economy is building up our middle class. It is essential.
I just noticed this. Y'all see the ticker at the bottom? Let's read this ticker.
The middle class is one of America's greatest strengths. And to protect it, then, we must defend basic principles, such as your salary.
Hold on, guys. 1 second.
Should be
I gotta
enough.
open the door real quick. 1 second. All right, we back. All right, let's get back to it. What's the steam runner? Both administrations spend trillions to what matters is how they spend it. So you would have to compare how the Biden and Trump admin spent money and then its economic implications. I agree, but I would argue that Donald Trump's administration spent the money wisely. Now people go, well, the deficit went up a substantial amount of money while he was in office. And I would say this: the Democrats in the House and the Senate held the economy hostage and forced Donald Trump to sign those bills that they want to sign in order to get the economy moving. So they held the economy hostage. They held government workers' jobs hostage to force his hand to sign a bill for whatever the trillions of dollars it was. Meanwhile, Joe Biden's economy, they just all willy-nilly just signed that shit because we got to help Ukraine. They signed those bills to help Ukraine. Shit is wild. Shit is wild. Let's go.
Enough to provide you and your family with a good quality of life. Such as no child should have to grow up in poverty. Such as after years of hard work, you should be able to retire with dignity.
These are all givens. These are all givens. And they're out here clapping for it, but these are all givens. No child should have to grow up in poverty, especially in America. And once you work hard and you're ready to retire, you should have a nice little cushion of money. But you can't do that when you just keep printing. Social Security been going by the wayside. Even Donnie T said that shit. But they want to still give you that false hope of Social Security. Trust the government. We're going to make sure you can retire. I know people that retired back in like 2018 who went back to work now. Of course you don't believe what she's saying, Reba. Yeah, every time Trump pushed back, Nancy Pelosi came out threatening to impeach and threatening the jobs of Americans, especially people that work for the government. My wife works for the government, and she was about to be furloughed. She was furloughed at one point, you know. I give anything to invest in Social Security instead of the government. Feel you. But this is crazy to me. But she's sitting here speaking the obvious. But the sad part is, because you guys hated a man so much, because you guys want to play this big game of Risk and you think we're all cannon fodder, we're just all pawns for your fucking game. The prosperity that we had for 4 years under Donald Trump, you guys took from us. You snatched it. You pulled the rug from under our feet. And then here you come like a fucking Sour Patch Kid trying to give us hugs and kisses and give us the fucking rug back. Or pretend to give us the rug back. Because you're going to do none of this shit. Nickel Slick already rickrolled the shit out of America when he got in office. And that's the first thing people should be asking with a brain, is how can we trust you when you're the vice president now and you haven't done anything about the things that you promised to do as the president? Like Goldstein said, bitch, you failing at your position now, so why do you think we should let you fucking get a promotion?
And you should be able to join a union if you choose. Building up the middle class will be a defining goal of my presidency, because I strongly believe when the middle class is strong, America is strong.
Who that sound like? Who that sound like, y'all? Now all of a sudden you for the middle class? Because for the last 4 years, you guys have fucking demolished the middle class. You stomped the middle class into the dirt. Now you want to pick them up and dust them off? Or is it because your new middle class is the people that you're letting in from across the border? Like, this shit is crazy. This is a chameleon. This is a lizard person in front of your eyes right now. Lifeless eyes like a doll's eyes. That's what she is. And it makes me sad to hear these idiots fucking clap like seals for this shit. But then again, I'm pretty sure they paid to be there.
So in the weeks to come, I will address in greater detail my plans to build an opportunity economy. And today, I will focus on one element that's on the minds of many Americans as they pay their bills at the kitchen table or walk the aisles of a grocery store. And that is lowering the cost of living. So every day across our nation, families talk about their plans for the future, their ambitions, their aspirations for themselves, for their children. And they talk about how they're going to be able to actually achieve them financially. Because look, the bills add up. Food, rent, gas, back to school clothes, prescription medication. After all that, for many families, there's not much left at the end of the month. I grew up in a middle-class household. For most of my childhood, we were renters. My mother saved for well over a decade to buy a home. I was a teenager when that day finally came, and I can remember so well how excited she was. I kind of understood what it meant, but we called her Mommy. Mommy was so excited, it just made us excited that she was so excited. Later in college, I worked at McDonald's to earn spending money. Well, some of the people I worked with were raising families on that paycheck. They worked second or even third jobs to pay rent and buy food. That only gets harder when the cost of living goes up. When I am elected president, I will make it a top priority to bring down costs and increase economic security for all Americans. As president, I will take on the high costs that matter most to most Americans, like the cost of food. We all know that prices went up during the pandemic when the supply chains shut down and failed. But our supply chains have now improved.
Y'all hear what she said? Y'all hear what she said? Let's go back.
Matter most to most Americans, like the cost of food. We all know that prices went up during the pandemic when the supply chains shut down and failed.
The prices didn't go up during the pandemic. You had some people trying to take advantage of the situation, but the prices didn't go up. You know when prices of shit went up is when you guys got in office and when you guys started printing out all of that money and when you guys started the fucking inflation engine up. That's when things started to get expensive. That's when things started to get expensive. It wasn't the Putin price hike. It wasn't Donnie T. It wasn't Cole. It was you. And Nickel Slick. Taking our energy independence away from us and making us dependent on Iran, a country who hate us. And Saudi Arabia for oil. When y'all jumped into this Ukraine debacle and you started talking about whatever it takes, and you start sending billions of dollars to the Ukraine, hiding it in omnibus bills and all that other stuff. Y'all did that. You guys created this bubble. You created this inflation. You created the increase in costs in goods and services. Oh, sorry, guys. You created that.
But our supply chains have now improved. And prices are still too high. A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%.
Pay attention to that lower third.
Many of the big food companies are seeing their highest profits in 2 decades. And while many grocery chains pass along these savings, others still aren't. Look, I know most businesses are creating jobs, contributing to our economy, and playing by the rules. But some are not. And that's just not right. And we need to take action when that is the case.
Yeah, something not right. Something ain't right. She's right. Something's not right. But it's not the grocery stores. It's not the manufacturers. It's the cost of doing business. Again, we got to go back to inflation that they created. They can't snap their fingers and get their produce and their staples into these grocery stores. That's got to get done by truck, train, plane. That shit costs money, especially when the gas is through the fucking roof. When it's costing $1,200 and $1,300 for truckers to fill up their tank to make those trips. That cost get passed, that increase gets passed on to the consumer. That increase gets passed on to the consumer. So if it costs more for that truck driver to get it to Safeway, and they charging Safeway more money to get that shit to them, then guess what Safeway got to do? Pass it on to the consumer. Exactly. Very little gouging. Everybody's costs are up. Exactly. Exactly, Rob. And now she blaming businesses.
As Attorney General in California, I went after companies that illegally increased prices, including wholesalers that inflated the price of prescription medication, and companies that conspired with competitors to keep prices of electronics high. I won more than $1 billion for consumers. So believe me, as president, I will go after the bad actors.
As president, she's going to allow this shit to continue happening. You know why? Because they're padding her pockets. And if they're not padding her pockets, right? If they're not padding her pockets, they're padding the pockets of the congressmen and the senators who's lobbying for them. So understand, none of this shit's going to get solved. She's not going to be allowed to solve it because she's on the take, just like the senators, just like the Congress people who these companies got in their back pockets. Kamala Harris ain't got none of the juice she trying to claim like that she got. She had that fucking juice, should be done right now. She's the vice president of the United States, but she ain't got the juice she thinks she got or that she's claiming that she has. You know why? Because she owes somebody something for being where she is. She bent the knee a long time ago. Both knees. Pause. Throat Goat 2024. Carlos Afraka says she had abs on her throat. Oh shit.
And I will work to pass the first ever federal ban on price gauging on food.
Price gauging. I guess you meant price gouging.
My plan will include new penalties for opportunistic companies that exploit crises and break the rules, and we will support smaller food businesses that are trying to play by the rules and get ahead.
So why didn't they do that during COVID? Why did they shut down mom and pop shops and make it okay for these other big box stores to stay open? She's promising to end price gouging and to start to funnel some of the money and revenue towards the smaller mom and pop shops. But that's the exact opposite of the things that you did when you guys got in office. She can't even read right. Oh my gosh, yo. This shit is wild to me. And the fact that people are clapping with not addressing the obvious is the fact that she's in power now and she's done nothing. It's ridiculous to me.
We will help the food industry become more competitive because I believe competition is the lifeblood of our economy. More competition means lower prices for you and your families.
Who that sound like, guys? Who that sound like? Vote with your wallet. Who that sound like? Everything she's talking is straight out of Donnie T's playbook.
Now compare what Donald Trump plans to do. He wants to impose what is, in effect, a national sales tax on everyday products and basic necessities that we import from other countries. That will devastate Americans.
So this is the funny part, right? What they fail to tell you is right before we got income taxes, how do you think America made their money? Tariffs. America made their money on tariffs. Income tax for things coming in from other countries. That's how America did it before we got hit by the creature from Jekyll Island. Two, the tax he's trying to increase is the companies, the manufacturers, the people who are here. The companies that are here that's going to move their plants from America outside of America to another country like Mexico or India. You're going to tax the shit out of them. Just like he did when he was in office before. You know what happened? Ford brought their asses right back across the border and built a plant in like Mississippi or Alabama somewhere. That's what he's talking about. Keeping American jobs here and not getting them outsourced. She being disingenuous with this.
It will mean higher prices on just about every one of your daily needs.
Two, what is it that we get from other countries that we can't do here? Let's just follow her logic, her full out logic. What is it that other countries do that we can't do here? We got our farms. We got our agriculture here. We got amber waves of grain. We don't need to go to Ukraine for that shit. We got oil. We don't need to go to Saudi Arabia or Iran for that shit. If we want to go with her logic. But see, these companies that have these, you know, they want to move out of the United States to save a buck. And Donald Trump like, all right, cool. Good luck. Because I'm going to tax the shit out you when you get over there. So either you stay here and work with me, and I'm going to make sure you straight, or you can go ahead and go. But everything you got coming across that border is going to get a 38% tax on it. He already said that. He put that out there. What's up, Rez? She going to get her ass handed to her. The only debate I'm worried about is fucking JD Vance and Walls. That's it.
A Trump tax on gas. A Trump tax on food.
Listen to what she's saying.
A Trump tax on clothing. A Trump tax on over-the-counter medication.
Again, another lie. All that lies. A Trump tax on over-the-counter medication. When he was, you guys just followed his blueprint for your medication plan. Y'all just follow his blueprint that he was already putting into practice. That was already by executive order. I showed you guys the articles last night. She's being really disingenuous. She's being really dishonest. And these people are just eating it up.
And you know, economists have done the math. Donald Trump's plan would cost a typical family $3,900 a year. At this moment, when everyday prices are too high, he will make them even higher.
So this is the question that I would have for her as a follow-up, right? If I wasn't one of these NPCs in the crowd. If Donald Trump was going to cost us that much money, why the hell when he had all that stuff implemented when he was in office, why didn't it cost us that much money? So you claiming that Donnie T, if he gets in office, right? If he gets in office, inflation and the cost of living is going to go through the roof. How come it didn't from 2016 to 2020? Because everything that you said that he's going to do, he already did in 2016 to 2020, and we was Gucci. See, this is the shit that I would have questions about, but nobody want to ask her. So if this shit was so, if he's going to be so bad for us, how come, A, every policy you just came out with in the past few days is a Donald Trump policy, verbatim, and B, why didn't it fuck us up from 2016 to 2020? And don't give me no COVID bullshit. And these are all common sense questions. All common sense questions. Fucking Stevie Wonder can see the fucking irony in all of this shit.
As president, I'll take on the issue of the cost of health care. As Attorney General, I took on insurance companies and Big Pharma and got them to lower their prices. And together with President Biden, we've gone even further. We capped the price.
This is how you know these people are retarded. You see this lady right here? She got a whole mask on her fucking face. Whole mask on her face.
Of insulin at $35 a month, and the total cost of prescription drugs at $2,000 a year for seniors. We let Medicare negotiate lower drug prices for seniors. And just yesterday, we announced that we are lowering the price by up to 80% for 10 more life-saving drugs.
So, what she just laid out was what Donnie T did by executive order in 2020. July 27th, 2020, or 24th, 2020 is when Donald Trump did that. Verbatim what she just said. On top of that, remember Donnie T signing the bill for the right to try? Not only try life-saving procedures, but life-saving experimental medication. He already did that. Now she's talking about she's re-rolling this shit out. Bruh. This shit is hilarious to me. And I ain't like I prepared for this. This shit is just up here like a fucking steel trap.
And I pledge to continue this progress. I'll lower the cost of insulin and prescription drugs for everyone with your support, not only our seniors. And demand transparency from the middlemen who operate between Big Pharma and the insurance companies who use opaque practices to raise your drug prices and profit off your need for medicine.
Who use opaque practices? Isn't that transparent? In opaque, like another word for like transparent, like a transparent. I'm just saying. James said he thought Obamacare fixed healthcare. Right. This shit is wild to me. And people are just falling for this shit hook, line, and sinker. She's not going to fucking check the Big Pharma. She's not going to check Big Pharma because she's getting money from them. She's getting a check from them. She can't hold them accountable because Obama already signed a law saying they can't be held accountable for what they do. What? Again, the average layman don't know shit. They just clapping back there like seals.
2 months ago, I announced that medical debt will no longer be used against your credit score. And I will work as president with states like here in North Carolina, Roy Cooper, thank you again, to cancel medical debt for more and more, millions more Americans.
So they pivoted. They pivoted from student loan forgiveness to now medical debt forgiveness. She moving from student loan forgiveness to fucking Medicare forgiveness. She full of shit. Big Pharma got them all in their pocket.
As for Donald Trump, well, he wants to repeal the Affordable Care Act, which 45 million Americans rely on. 45 million Americans.
I guess that's Obamacare, right? The Affordable Care Act, Obamacare. That like fucked up a bunch of college students to where as though they couldn't be on their parents' shit. Am I right about that? Obamacare did way more harm than it did good. I did a stream on that. I did a whole stream on Obamacare and how it destroyed families' health care. It left college students without health care. And not only that, if you didn't have health care, the United States government taxed you on not having health care to force you into Obamacare. I swear, yo, share the stream with your friends, yo. Your friends and your family. Share the stream. Tell them I apologize for all my cussing, but they need to fucking listen.
Rely on it for health care. That would take us back to a time when insurance companies could deny people with pre-existing conditions. We all remember what that was. And we're not going back. We're not going back. We're not going back. And remember, and this is why we're not going back, because we do remember.
This nigga right here is the reason why you know that they're paid actors to be behind her. He glomming all in the glazing all in the screen and stuff. He just showing you that he an extra. What up, Lisa D?
He tried to cut Medicare every year he was president, threatening a program that tens of millions of seniors count on. And according to his Project 2025 agenda, he intends to undo our work.
You see what she did there? She tried to put Project 2025 on Trump. She tried to put Project 2025 on Trump. When Trump he said, I don't know what the fuck Project 2025 is. He said, I got Agenda 47. You go look at that on my website. That's what Donnie T said. You can look at Agenda 47. That's on my website. I don't know what the fuck this 2025 shit is. She's sitting here lying all through her teeth. Through her teeth.
Work to bring down prescription drugs, the cost of prescription drugs, and insulin costs. Well, we've come too far to let that. And according to his Project 2025 agenda, he intends to undo our work to bring down prescription drugs, the cost of prescription drugs, and insulin costs. Well, we've come too far to let that happen. So we're not going back on that, and let's talk about the cost of housing. housing market can be complicated, but look, I'm not new to this issue. As State Attorney General, I drafted and helped pass a homeowner Bill of Rights, one of the first in America. And during the foreclosure crisis, I took on the big banks for predatory lending with many of my colleagues, including Roy Cooper, and won $20 billion for California families when I was Attorney General. How to fight for people who are being exploited in the housing market. And I know what home ownership means.
I bet you won't mention BlackRock.
It's more than a financial transaction. It's so much more than that. It's more than a house. Home ownership and what that means, it's a symbol of the pride that comes with.
Again, now she's talking about home ownership. Again, where were you at? What were you doing the last 4 years when housing prices was going? You can't do shit about housing prices now. You can't do a thing about the cost of housing now. The interest rate is the only thing that could probably kind of try to level that shit out, but you can't bring down the cost of housing now. Because then if you did that, everybody would have negative equity in their house that bought their house back in like fucking 2022, 2023, 2024. 2021. So what you gonna do about houses? You can't do shit about housing, Kamala. And these people are sitting there clamoring for this shit. Exactly. Ozzy said he left Cali because he couldn't afford to buy a home. Sound like she lying. The middleman who gave people with no credit a loan with high interest because big banks would have. I can't wait for the debate. She might actually cry, honestly. I would hate to see that. Tell them again, R-Dog. Housing prices are up because building supplies are up, and there's more demand than house. Right. Let's get these houses back to the prices they need to be set. Nobody with equity.
Hard work. It's financial security. It represents what you will be able to do for your children. And sadly, right now, it is out of reach for far too many American families. There's a serious housing shortage. In many places, it's too difficult to build, and it's driving prices up. As president, I will work in partnership with industry to build the housing we need, both to rent and to buy.
The only simple question this entire time is like, bitch, where you been at for the last 4 years? Where the fuck you been at for the last 4 years? Why we gotta wait for you to be the president to do this shit? Like Montoya said, this sounds like she running for class president. Where you been at for the last 4 years? You waited for shit to get that bad so you could have something to run on, so you guys can have something to run on? This shit is egregious. We're gonna listen to a little bit more before I get out of here.
We will take down barriers and cut red tape, including at the state and local levels. And by the end of my first term, we will end America's housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that are affordable for the middle class. housing shortage by building 3 million new homes and rentals that are affordable for the middle class.
How do you control that, Kamala? How do you control that in the free market, Kamala? I smell some communism shit coming. You can't control how much it costs to build that shit. Well, you can. Stop sending money to Ukraine. Stop sending money to Israel. Stop this egregious spending every year. In other words, you can do everything that Donald Trump did from 2016 to 2020. Which, oh, I'm sorry, that's exactly what you're fucking proposing. That's exactly what she's proposing. Exactly. Sound like socialism for sure. That's exactly what she's proposing, people. She's verbatim stealing Donnie T's 2016 playbook. She's verbatim stealing the policies that he put in place when he was the president that had us living good, had America on the up and up, had us feeling Gucci. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't get rickrolled again, Americans. Please don't get rickrolled again. She's transactional. She will turn on you just as fast as she turned her back on the Indian community. Can't trust nobody like that. So like I said, every time you hear her come up with some new policy, go back and see if Donald Trump had did it already. You'd be pleasantly surprised, I promise you. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you tonight. I'm going to hang out with some friends while I listen to the debate between Royce White and Mark Lamont Hill. Exclusively on Kick. Fuck. Is it on the Griff Report? Is it on the Griff Report's Kick channel? Or is it on Hotep's Been Told You Griff Kick channel? That's my question. Let's find out. Oh, excuse me. Griff Report. It makes sense to be on the Griff Report. It's the Griff Report channel. I appreciate y'all. Over on the Griff Report channel, guys. 9 o'clock. So you guys got an hour. You guys got an hour to get yourselves ready for some fucking fireworks, guys. Ooh, it's gonna be fantastic. It's gonna be fantastic. He should got a whole goddamn Spaces going right now. Check it out in a second. Oh, he putting it on Spaces. H.J. Grifton for real. He got it on Spaces. It's gonna be on. So you can listen to it on Spaces on X and on Kick. Here y'all go. Hotep debate, election 2024. Tonight, 9 p.m. between Royce White and Mark Lamont Hill. Kick.com/The Griff Report, or catch the Spaces on X, guys. It's gonna be fantastic. I appreciate you, James S. Appreciate it. Thanks for the show today. No problem. I appreciate you guys stopping by and listening and lending me your ear. Anyway, guys, if you're new, hit the like, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification icon. It'll let you know when I got new content coming out. Share this stream. Let people know we're live. This is an important stream. Share this stream, guys. Let people know we live. You catching the replay, leave a comment. Let me know how I'm doing. I can use that constructive criticism, guys. Anyway, until next time, it's Ken and Hotep saying be blessed, stay strapped. Don't miss And don't worry about tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow got enough problems of its own. Worry about today. Tune into the Royce White versus Mark Lamont Hill. 9 o'clock, kick.com, Griff Report. Can Hoteps, holla at you.
Don't relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes. Niggas need to wake up. Niggas need to relax and take notes.